Good day and welcome to today's conversation. The story of our country can't be told without speaking to civil society groupings, without speaking to the church and the immense roles that they've played in the life of our country. Today, I welcome you in a conversation with one of the foremost civil rights activists and human rights activists in Mr. Brebner Changala. Mr. Brebner Changala, welcome to today's conversation.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
The country and many people know you in your run-ins with authorities because you speak truth to power. You are very fearless in the manner you speak about issues. It doesn't matter whether it's a minister or a president or the police or any other authority. They know you are fearless and you raise the issues as they are. So they would like to know, who's Brebner Changala? What makes him? Where does this bravery and courage comes from? So maybe let's just delve briefly in your early life.
Thank you, and thank you very much for having me here. My name is Brebner Changala, as it were. I was born in Kitwe when my parents were working in Mufurira at Ronald Rose. They came from Mbereshi in Luapula. As you may know, at that time, I think in the 50s, 60s, many employment seekers who would find themselves on the Copper Belt, and my father was no exception. I went and started my primary education at Mbereshi Mission, which was founded by my great-grandfather in 1900, Mr. David Kawandami. And they came from Kawimbe in Northern Province. As you might know, Changala, this is a Mambwe name. The Kawandamis, this is a Mambwe name. They came to Seto as missionaries in Mbereshi. These were historical movements. As you might know, Kenneth David Kaunda, the parents came from Malawi to Seto in Ilubwa. My great-parents came from Kawimbe in Northern to come and Seto and open up Mbereshi Mission. That's where my mother, Mary Kawandami, the late, may her soul rest in peace, was born. Later on, in the 70s, my father moved to Lusaka, and we all moved to Lusaka. Again, I went to school at the current Lusaka Boys, which is just near Hot FM here. After that, went back to Mbereshi. From Mbereshi, I completed grade 7. That I was chosen in a very funny manner to go and start my secondary school education in Mongu at St. John's, all the way from Mbereshi. As you might know, Kaunda was trying to defeat this tribal element. So we needed the ethnic divisions. And I found myself in Western Province, in Mongu. I didn't apply there, but for some reasons best known to the education system at that time, I went to St. John's, where I was with the notable characters, such as I was in the same class with the current Auditor General, Eroni Mwambwa. I was at, no, it was a class behind the former DPP, Mukelabai. And my seniors were the suspended Judge Katanekwa, the current judge in the Constitutional Court, Judge Matthew Chisunka.
When you found yourself in Western Province and in Mongu in particular, did you learn, for example, laws? Did you learn?
I had to. It was a must. I went to St. John's at the time when tribalism was at its peak. I was called Munjukunjuku.
Yeah.
It was tough. Even to go out, I remember I'd gone to supermarket, got the Komwonda. And there were two things they will catch you, that you are not one of them. Is to speak English. Yes, because you can't speak the language. So they would deliberately greet you. And because you know it's a greeting, then you answer back and say, I'm fine, thank you. Then problems will start. I had an incident, I remember in Form 1, when I was at the counter, I put my grocery. And I was greeted and I answered back in English. And the owner of the shop says, these are the people who have come to finish the school places of our children.
Wow.
Yes, the grocery was grabbed. And I was chased from the shop. You know, I went back to school and I cried.
Because you didn't understand.
I didn't understand.
You didn't take yourself to Mungu.
Yes. Not only that, those were my fellow blacks. I couldn't speak Lozi, neither could they speak Bemba. So why should I get punished? So the problem was now, why did my father send me there? If I can be free. But over time, and this will be testimony from many people, including Ronnie, including Fred Membe, those were our seniors at school, I had to learn Lozi at a rocket speed. And you know, when you are learning a new dialect, a new language, you start with insults.
People are willing to for learning language.
Because that's
you either know about proposing to a woman or insult.
Yes, yes. So I started learning because at school, the atmosphere was different. Everybody was very, very friendly. And mind you, I went to school where almost 90 to 93% of our teachers were all Christian brothers from Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
We had, I think, 2 black Zambians. Mr. Matindo, who came from Mozambique, and I've forgotten one Lozi man who used to teach us Lozi. Yeah, you know, I had to learn Lozi. Mr. Matindo used to teach us English. And then we had the boarding master, Mr. Nawa. And the rest were our colleagues from Northern Ireland. I had a good time in the school environment. The challenges were when you go out.
To join the community.
Yes, to join the community, because you needed to speak the language. Even if I could speak a bit of Lozi at the beginning, they could tell the accent, you know, that this one is not one of them, is Munyugunyuku. So that's how it were.
You know what that demonstrates?
Yeah.
Dr. Kaunda was so serious about making one Zambia, one nation.
Of course, yes.
That it permeated in policies like that, where they took both pupils, students, or civil servants to areas where they don't come from.
Yeah.
Because this now was forcing integration.
Yeah, yeah. And if you, at my age, the best friends I have are Lozis.
Or later in life, you see what I mean? Later in life.
Starting from there, later, I get very well with them because they understand me, I understand them, I understand their culture, the respect, the do's and the don'ts, because I spent much of my teenage life that side.
Yeah. Your working career, because many people know you as a businessman,
yes,
and then activist, but just walk us through when you finished school.
Then when we finished school, there about in December 1979, I went to Ndola, Mushiri camp, which is commando today, to do national service, military training.
Oh yeah, because youth service, national service was compulsory.
There again, I had a very good experience to understand the behavior of a human being under stress, because it was strenuous to do that training. It was a 6-month training, but highly provocative emotionally. After the military training, I enrolled at NRDC. But first I go to military training. This is where I meet other human beings there. And I want to say this for a reason.
Yeah.
That's where I meet Jack Mwimbu,
the current minister
of Home Affairs. That will be another conversation. Very tall, slim, wavering, towering figure. And when we were at national service there, I was a monitor. Do you know a monitor? I was running a platoon. And I was very small. I was very small in stature. But most importantly, when I go back to St. John's, I go to Barosland, or Western Province, at the age of 14. And just imagine the distance between Mongu and Mbereshi in Luapula. It meant,
across the country.
Yes, it meant that there are moments in my educational period that I never went back home due to lack of resources and many times challenges of movement. When I went to school, Lusaka Mongu was a gravel road. We used to leave Kamwala Intercity around 6 a.m. and we only reach Mongu many times after 23 midnight. That's how far we used to move. So when schools would close, and we used to receive money through telegram, if you can remember, telegram. And the money used to come through the post office. At the time the school is closing, I would not have received the money. So I used to stay at school with the brothers when the schools are in recess.
Because it's a Catholic school.
It was a Catholic school.
Mission school.
Yeah, it was a Catholic school. And I would spend my holiday there. And in the day, I would walk into town, or I'll find where the people are playing football. I'll play, then I'll come back at lunch. I'll find something to do until the schools will open. So I became very used to the Barosi lifestyle, that side. I will go to the Kwamulambwa, Kwanto, Kubomakadoli. There were wrong things happening there. Mbote ya Manao.
Yes.
Yeah, things like that.
Yeah. So you leave the national service and...
Yeah, I came to NRDC. I wanted to do agriculture. It was while at the NRDC, my parents, mind you, were still in Mbereshi. Now there were challenges now, fees, this and that. That's how I find myself in Zanaco. And in my life, I've only worked for one company, Zanaco, because thereafter I had to...
So Zambia National Commercial Bank at the time.
At the time, yeah. I moved from one branch to the other. I was in Kawe, Kitwe, Mpika, came to Ndora, I remember. Then thereafter I graduated into a businessman.
Yeah, yeah.
And formed a company, because I don't like obscurity, things that are not known. Things must relate to me. I formed a company called Brebner School Chalk. I started doing something that is very rare, but not of my own accord. This is a
problem. Because you went into chalk business. How? Yes. That's very rare.
Yeah.
People go into trading and there are many things people would rather do, but you went into production of chalk.
This is something that comes unplanned. I leave the bank and now I am dating this girl, my current wife. I'm saying current as if you have many. My wife. And the father, Mr. Kauma, the late, may so rest in peace, had started this project of manufacturing chalk. Yes, and he had built a factory in Chinika Industrial somewhere there. Before it could be well developed, he passed on in 1995, if I remember, 8th August 1995. And my wife and myself said, let's continue this project. And that's how I come on board. And this is a project which everybody didn't make sense out of.
Yes.
Yes. But it worked well because chalk has been imported.
Yes, yes.
Even before independence, the chalk we used has always been an imported commodity. And yet we have the raw material in Monze, Lochinva National Park.
What's the primary material for?
It's gypsum.
Oh, gypsum.
Yes.
Okay.
And gypsum is used for many, many, many things. Gypsum boards, which is your ceiling, is used for your dentures. It is used for POP, plaster of Paris, when you break your bones. And it's also used for polishing metals.
Okay.
Yeah, it is used for a variety.
Okay.
So from there, I got a mine from small Mindeko mines in Lochinva. And the rest is history.
As you say. Yeah. Because you have to secure the primary commodity so then you could be manufacturing to lower cost.
Yes.
So your activism, let's walk that path. Tell us, what takes you to activism? Because here you are, a former banker, now businessman, and you're doing very well.
Yes.
Why go into this activism? And for one reason, you don't go to politics, but you are in the middle, just as a civil society activist.
This is a passion, it's inborn. I remember my father many, many years ago when I was young. And this, I will honor him until I die. He used to say, if you have to live a good life, the best life, live for others. The best life, you'll get it when you live
for others.
This has been with me for years, and those who have interacted with me, either at school, either at work, was a passion. I was very young when the multi-party was introduced in this country.
Yeah, the transition from one party to multi-partyism.
Yes.
1989 to 1991.
89, 90,
91.
to 91. And I participated that Dr. Kenneth Kaunda needed to take leave, and the young generation needed to take over from him. And that did happen. Then we all celebrated the rise to power of the MMD and Mr. Chiluba. But thereafter, I think 2 years, 3 years down the line, that guy started sitting on our hopes and aspirations. And I was not fully MMD, although I supported MMD, because I rarely take part in party politics, because I have one philosophy. I don't like being told to conform to a group agenda, even when it's wrong. No, when it's wrong, I need to say it wrong. And if I associate myself to any grouping, I will be disciplined. So I would rather hit back from a safe zone where there are no repercussions other than the police detention. So as I started seeing things were not going right. And if you remember, there emerged the National Party of the Bodwin Nkumbulas, Emmanuel Kasonde, Arthur Wina, and I realized I was not alone. Moving forward, there arose Zadeko.
1995, 96.
Yes. Of my brother, Din Mumomba,
and Mbita
Chitala. I don't think Mbita was there. But I remember, yes, I remember remotely Kabimba was there.
Oh, Winter
was in Zadeko. I have a chat with him.
Yes.
He was young and handsome and highly problematic and very forceful. So I joined, and the rest is history. Zadeko didn't last.
Didn't win the elections as anticipated. And they didn't last, I think, after the coup of 1996.
97.
97. The media will remember you, I think, 1999, 2000, and 2001, over the case where Edith Nawakwi was quoted in the Post newspaper saying Chiluba is a thief. Now, that was like sacrilegious. The head of state is president, and her former minister is calling, him a thief.
No, before we move
to stage, you can walk us.
Yes. Before we move to Chiluba is a thief, you see, Chiluba started living an extraordinary life, and he became very powerful. He was now walking the corridors of KK. But period to that, I want to tell you something. Before we walked and called Chiluba a thief, there were some murder cases that were happening in Charleston, where young schoolgirls were being killed. And the NGOCC and the entire civil society fraternity, the civil society was very, very strong at that time, decided to march to State House.
A brief background just to that. I think it was at the height of the HIV/AIDS pandemic.
Yes.
And I think these witch doctors were saying people could get cured if they slept with children who were virgins. And that brought about a sharp rise in defilement and murder cases.
Yes. So, on this day, President Chiluba was flying to Addis Ababa for African, OAU.
OAU summits, yes.
Yes. And the women had started marching from North Mid, where NGOCC's offices were, marching on Independence Avenue, going to meet Chiluba at State House.
Okay.
Yeah. On that fateful day, I left my house to pass through the Ministry of Lands. I was chasing for my title for my property in Chinika. After Ministry of Lands, I drove on Independence Avenue.
Yeah.
So when I reached Lusaka Force Headquarters,
Yes.
I found this Kasalanga loading elderly women.
These hapless women.
Yes, Petronella Chisanga, Emily Skazwe, Inonge Wina, Sarah Longwe. So I parked my car in the middle of the road and I left it idling. And I climbed this track, Kasalanga.
Why would you do that?
I wanted to rescue the women. So I started offloading them. When the police were loading them, I was offloading them. Speak to Mrs. Sanga, she's alive. Emily Scars, I'll tell you.
Yes.
So
you were not part of the procession?
No, I was not part of it.
You just found these
women. I said, there's no way they are going to go into cells.
Yeah.
So I started offloading them from this
police vehicle.
So this police, because there were few, I think the police were about 6 or 7. Then they mobilized. So when the other people came from Force Headquarters, I was equally arrested.
Yeah.
And we were all put in this Salanga. Now you will see where the drama is. We reach Central Police. There is a call out, a call. There were 38 women in 38. Yeah. And myself, 39. Now, we are going to be locked up. I must be locked up where? Where there are guys. When we are going there to the cells, they lock me up in the ladies' cells. This is there.
They were calling all of them in, including you were the only man.
Yeah, but they pleaded. I remember Emily Scars were pleading with the police to say put him in the
main cell.
They said no, you have broken the same law. And I was in the ladies. That I have decided to say this because of people who talk about trauma. In the ladies' cells,
and that was a large number.
Yes, we were 38. I remember Emily Scouts, they got a marker, they were writing on the wall, Emily was here. The toilet is in the middle. There was an effort that I must be taken out of that cell.
Yes.
The police refused.
I think it was part of to torture both the women, even you.
Yeah, to me. Because for the ladies to go to the toilet, they will circle themselves. But for me, it was just to sit. And I remember Mr. Chiluba had left for Addis Ababa. Around 19 hours, Mr. Michael Sata came. He was minister without portfolio. And he came with the IG, Francis Njovu.
Oh, Francis Njovu.
Yes. To release the women. So he said, Mbemba, Vanamayo fumeni mye musunge amayanda musunge n'abana n'abeshikuru. But you kalume Alesha.
Oh, shit.
He must be taught a lesson. Yeah. And the women said, we are not going if Brebner is not released. So Michael Sata said, mwalafu ila kalume. Na mwishiwepo mlechi tena kalume mkatyo. And Michael Sata left. But the episode is not over. Something interesting had to happen around midnight.
Yeah.
At 22 hours, ZNBC ran a story that women were arrested and were
detained at
Lusaka Central. And there was Inongewina, Petronella Tsanga, and what have you. So, they were visiting a delegation from Sweden, parliamentarians from Sweden. They were in the country. They were in the country. They were at Intercontinental Hotel. So around midnight, I think I had even fallen asleep in the cells. But women were still talking. There was a knock on our cell.
Yeah.
And there were these
white people.
And you know the Swedish, they have white hair as well, as if they are old. I think it's because of their weather. And they started pushing everywhere. Where's the arresting officer? Blah, 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 blah. And to some extent, they managed to even engage a lawyer, who I remember at that time was Sakwiba.
Oh,
Sakwiba Scotta.
State Council.
Now it was going, I think, beyond midnight. Now I've jumped one incident. There is a price to everything. When we were arrested around 9 o'clock, around 14 hours, my wife visited me at the police cell.
When she learned that you were locked up?
Yes, I was locked up because it was on the news. She came, asked for me, and they brought her to the cells, and she saw me in the middle of women. And she asked me one question. She said, Effie Chief.
Can you were in the cells with women?
Yes, she says, Effie Chief. She was not amused.
Yeah, as if it was your fault.
Yeah, and she left.
Yeah,
she never came back. So let's go back to the Swedish. They got Sakwiba.
This is in the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night. And they managed to get the IG. No, not the arresting officer. The IG. We were bonded around 1 a.m. What was interesting, the Swedish paid for her bond. And I remember it was $1,000.
For all the 38?
Yes,
all 39.
39, all of us. And at that time, I told you, when I was offloading these women, I'd left my car in the middle of the road. Yes. So I didn't even know where it was. Yeah. So around 1 a.m. when we were released.
And you know the police don't release at 01.
No.
That was very good political pressure.
Yeah.
That had even become international.
She was in Addis Ababa. I got out from Lusaka Central, and because it was late, there was no taxi. I walked from Lusaka Central to my house in Kabwata.
Yeah.
I reached home, I think that was to 2. I knocked at the gate, they opened, they went to sleep. The following morning in my house, there was picture but no sound.
You had been locked up with women.
Yeah, but that's
interesting.
Yeah.
But then quickly then come to the Chiluba is a thief case.
Yes.
And this is 2000, 2001.
Now, we are going into an election.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very difficult period. The MMD of internal wrangles that has brought up splinter parties. You have FDD, Heritage
No, before we have FDD, and that thing was earlier than that.
Yeah.
The Chiluba is going to go for a 3rd term.
Oh, yeah.
It splits cabinet. And 22 members of the Chiluba government resign. This includes the Vice President, Christian Tembo. But he doesn't resign.
Yeah, they just defy.
They just fire, and Chiruba doesn't fire his Vice President. So, because of the lifestyle of his ministers and Chiruba himself, Nawakwi makes a statement that Chiruba is a thief. Now, something is going to happen very interesting.
Yeah.
Mrs. Petronella Chisanga was the vice chairperson to Inonge Winner at NGOCC.
Yeah.
She calls me one moment. She says, one morning, Changala, where are you? I said, I'm at my office at the factory, you know, making chalk. She said, you have to come to NGOCC.
Yeah.
And sign a statement. So when I go to NGOCC there, I find a statement well written that Chiruba is a thief.
It was actually written. It was
yes.
Not from interview.
No. Because on that statement, I'm number 53. I think Madam Inonge Winner is number 1 or number 2. Brebner Changala is there. Everybody is there.
So it's a petition.
It is a petition. That Chiruba is a thief. And I sign that statement. And the Post newspaper, I think 2, 3, 4 days, publicizes that list. After 3, 4 days, there is a knock at my house. I go out, I am being arrested. And that time, this is a young police officer who will become an IG later on.
Oh, okay.
Ganganja.
Oh, okay, yes.
There was a Land Rover. Where am I going? No, forwards. Force headquarters. I am detained. In that room, I am with the Harrington. What's his name?
William Harrington.
William Harrington.
The former Minister of Transport.
Yes.
He was Minister also during that time.
Yes, yes. Yeah. I find William Harrington and Marimba Masheke. An old man.
General Marimba Masheke.
Yeah, General Marimba Masheke. Now, nobody knows why we are there. They are not telling us. When they throw me inside there, Harrington says, Brebner, what is it? I said, I don't know. He was also picked somewhere. Marimba Masheke was picked somewhere. Before the day end, to cut the long story short, we were about 11 in the cells. But we don't know why we are there. Me had forgotten that petition we signed.
That you had signed yes,
that Chiruba is a thief. So around 9 o'clock the following day, we are summoned upstairs. And that's where I find Mutembo Nchito. Now on Mutembo Nchito, I must say something.
Yeah.
These were lawyers who will come at short notice and pro bono. There were no legal fees. These are people who represent you for literally nothing. So they started calling us one by one. So me, I was taken there. I was shown the publication. Is this your name? I said, yes.
Did you sign?
Is this your signature? I said, yes. Do you believe President Chiruba is a thief? I said, yes. Do you have any evidence? I said, this is my biggest exhibit. Fast forward, we were taken to court. Now, at court there, the magistrate was Mebero Karima, the late. May he so rest in peace. This is where...
that later became DPP, huh?
Yeah,
or he had been DPP.
He had been DPP before, I think, one of the two, he was DPP. So we went to court. Now we were so many that we couldn't fit in the dock.
Yes, of course you can.
Yes. So Kalima decided to say, we shall just have, I think, 4 or 3 names.
To represent the rest.
To represent the rest. That was to be Fred Membe, Bivan Saruseki, and Madam Edith Nawakwe.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
I see.
Because Benainonga were involved in Chiruba is a thief.
Everyone signed that
Everybody
petition.
signed that petition. If you look for it from National Archives, we are there.
Yes.
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 Now, that matter will end dramatically.
Yeah.
Because we are now moving towards the election, and we are escorting, I've got even pictures, we are escorting now this Bivan Saruseki, Fred Membe, Nawakwe. Some of us were just now on record. If Nawakwe was to be convicted, then they will pick all of us as co-adventurers. So we are now moving towards an election.
In 2001.
Yes. Now it was during that period again, Oasis Forum is formed, which was a consortium of many interested groups. MPs,
the Law Association of Zambia,
yes,
church mother bodies, and then other stakeholders,
yes,
and other stakeholders.
Yes, and MPs.
Oh, and the MPs,
yes, yes.
that were defying the third term.
Defying the third term. Is from the Oasis Forum that will give birth to FDD. And when FDD was being formed, I want to put one thing on record.
Yeah.
This has to do with the General Mianda. When FDD now was formed, like at independence, Kaunda was to lead Zambia.
Yeah.
It was in the Independence Declaration document. FDD had one candidate in mind to lead FDD, and that was General Godfrey Mianda. Yes.
So how do we end up with the General Christian Tembo?
I will explain. Now, we are going to have an interim president of FDD before the convention. And this interim president of FDD will be one Godfrey Mianda, who we haven't consulted, but is the ultimate leader. And Ted Mulonga had given us a secretariat that he had a house near Parliament.
Okay.
Yes, an upstairs house there. He had given, and there was Samuel Mianda, these are late people.
Yeah. Former Material MP.
Yes, former
Minister.
Yeah. Yes, yes. Now, General Mianda, he will be our interim president. And everybody was excited because of his integrity, forthrightness. And he's going to make us excel away from the Chiruba fiasco. We waited the whole night for General Mianda to come, and he never came. Later on, he had to explain that he had formed his own political party, Heritage Party, and the reason he could not join FDD, because we were just shifting a problem. He did not trust those 22 ministers that had shifted to FDD. They were also cancerous
to him.
So he said, those who believe in me,
then will follow me.
They must follow me.
Oh, I see.
To Heritage. And there was resistance.
Of course, because this was panning out to be a movement.
Yes.
Then a splinter is being formed.
Yes, a splinter is formed. Then the next person we had to fall on was General Christian Tembo.
Because he had sacrificed to stand with you. He was vice president.
He was vice president, and we went for him. But it was a very difficult candidate to sell, because the MMD went for him as a drunkard, irresponsible, and what have you. And the rest is history.
Yeah.
We lost General Mianda. He went with his village concept. Then Christian Tembo lost an election.
Was assaulted very hard.
Very hard.
In the media by the MMD.
Yeah, by the MMD. And the late Mwanawasa won the 2001 election by a bare 25,000 votes.
Razor thin.
The razor thin.
I think at 29% and Mazoka. How come, this question?
Yeah.
Mazoka had formed this party in 1998.
Yes.
And there was this movement to break away from the MMD, the people that formed FDD and Heritage. Why didn't you think of going to Mazoka's party, UPND?
I really don't know.
You didn't
Mazoka was a force at that time. He was a grassroots mobilizer. Mind you, he had the Bob Chingas of this world. He had the Patrick Chisangas of this world. He had a formidable team. No wonder he had to beat Christian Tembo. You know, Mazoka came second.
Into that election. And he had won the 2001 elections.
In here he won. That's why those who don't believe in facts will tell you he won. Yeah. He won. And I'll tell
he
you,
was such a dark horse in that race.
Yes.
Because the media and Lusaka were focused on General Mianda and General Tembo.
Yeah.
And we thought between the two, probably they would win. President Mwanawasa, you know, who had gone into retirement, came back, and Chiluba's third term bid had fallen. So he wasn't really a forceful candidate. People thought General Tembo, General Mianda would win. And they were putting Anderson Mazoka a distant third. But it was such a shock that he literally was...
That man was a credible candidate, short of a better description. And I'll tell you what, if Anderson Mazoka had lived longer, UPND would not have remained in opposition for 23 years. He knew how to mobilize.
Because if you can form a party in 1998 and 2001,
you become number two.
Yeah.
You nearly take it. Mind you, he beat Michael Sata, who had only one MP. Very powerful. Mazoka, that's why I keep on saying, Mazoka is a complete opposite of the current MMD, rather UPND president. Complete
Why do you
opposite.
say that?
Anderson Mazoka was outgoing, and he knew how to tap into human resource, and he knew how to relate and maintain friendship, and he knew how to harness and use the criticism that will be thrown at him. He never used to get angry. But most importantly, Anderson Mazoka never fronted a tribe. Anderson Mazoka was a nationalist. He was such a father figure that was accepted on either divide. He was so brilliant. I get something that I repeat so often from Anderson Mazoka, because I followed him very closely. And I admired him. Because he's a man I knew when I worked for Zanaco. He was managing director of Zambia Airways. And I was in Kabwe, and he was our client. You wouldn't know when you are dealing with him that at that time he was the managing director.
And Zambia Airways was a big monolithic structure, and the managing director,
He told me one thing, Mr. Mazoka. I asked him a question as to why he had applied to be the ward chairman
For Bauleni.
For Bauleni.
With the things the activity that led to his expulsion
Yes.
from the MMD.
Yes. I asked him that question, one to one. At your level, how are you going to fit in Bauleni? Do you know what the Anderson Mazoka told me?
Yeah, what was the answer?
He says, Brebner, you're young, but I want to tell you something. If you want to be a leader, you must first accept to be led. I wanted to be a ward chairman, reporting to the constituency structure, not even into the
province or district.
No. I want to understand how grassroots politics work. So if you want to be a leader, Mr. Changala, accept to be led. But I'll tell you something. Mr. Hakainde Hichilema does not accept to be led. He must be a leader at all times and at all levels. And that's his failure, number one. I want to tell you here now, which everybody knows in this country, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema never and still doesn't recognize ECL as president. He never accepted him when he was president. He has never accepted him as a former president, even today. The biggest challenge Mr. Hakainde had in the opposition was to refer to ECL as president. He just couldn't. He just couldn't. And it used to puzzle me. But see the humility of ECL.
Yeah.
Every time he's talking about Mr. Hakainde, he calls him President Hakainde Hichilema. Because he's president, that's a fact. He's president.
True.
So you can see the
stark differences.
Between the two. Even when he took over the mantle of the UPND, it was highly controversial.
Yeah, that conference in 2006 was very, very controversial.
Very controversial.
After the death of...
He lost the Sakwivas of this world. He lost the Bob Stingers of this world. He lost Patrick Chisanga of this world. And many more. And because of pride, he has never taken a step towards reconciliation and bring them. Because that's what a good leader does. I remind him all the time on how Nelson Mandela will come out of prison and work with his own jailers, have breakfast with them, have a joyride with them. That is a mark of responsible humanity. Thank you.
Wonderful. We rushed to 2008, I think the most notable one, when there's President Mwanawasa is ailing. I think he's in France, hospitalized. Then we have that by-elections in 2008. Just speak briefly before that. We go to Michael Sata 2011. Then we come to 2021.
Yeah. We haven't discussed President Levy Patrick Mwanawasa. For me...
Please, you share your thoughts.
For me...
Because it was a very difficult period. Mwanawasa follows up on your agenda of Chiluba is a thief.
Yes.
It forms the basis to go to parliament and lift Chiluba's immunity. Because the debate preceded elections. After elections, Mwanawasa wins with a very razor-thin majority. And he takes up the anti-corruption drive against his predecessor. And your case, you were Edith Nawaku, Fred Membe, was first the beginning of the accusations.
I didn't finish. Chiluba is a thief. And I'll tell you, that case ended.
Yes.
And I'll tell you how it's going to end in a dramatic way. Levy Patrick Mwanawasa is sworn in as president. We still have a case in court against Chiluba versus...
It's criminal defamation.
Yes, it's criminal defamation.
So it's criminal defamation. It's the state
No, it's not a state. Wait a minute. I'll tell you what is going to happen. We are still have this case in court, and Mwanawasa is president. And Chiluba pursues this matter in court, and is being represented by Eric Srwamba. We are being represented by Mutembo Nchito. We walk into court on this day, and the matter is called to order. There was drama in court. Mutembo Nchito drops a bombshell in that court. Zamtrop account and the movements of money is placed on record.
Wow. Now, for our viewers, yes. Zamtrop was an intelligence account.
It's an intelligence account
in
London.
And it was run by the intelligence.
By the intelligence.
And now you are telling us that Mutembo Nchito has the account.
Yes, he has the account.
Of it, and he tables it to prove the case that Chiluba is a thief.
He's a thief. And Eric Srwamba, I think, was with Simeza not Sangwa. Robert, I think, if my memory serves me right. A bombshell is dropped in court, which catches Eric Srwamba and company
and
everybody off guard. And the document is circulated to Chiluba's
lawyers. Because they have to have a copy.
They have to have a copy. And the court is given. And we are fully packed in court there. State Counsel Srwamba applies for an adjournment because he needed to get further instructions from the client. And is granted because he was ambushed. The following day, the post went wild.
The contents of who was paid begins to be revealed.
Yes, yes. The matrix of plunder. I'll tell you what, the case is over.
Yeah. For many reasons. First of all, this is an intelligence account.
Yes.
It's a secret account.
It's a secret account.
So you can't have a secret document flying in newspapers.
No,
the details.
There were objections which were raised that an intelligence account cannot be found in private hands like Mutembo Nchito and what have you. Little did they know that actually that intelligence document, literature or documentation actually came from Mr. Mwanawasa.
Wow.
He had declassified that information.
Wow. And so the document was taken to President Mwanawasa, who declassified it and allowed the lawyers then to use it
in court.
Wow.
In order to catch Chiluba. Now, when the matter collapses, Chiluba had to be pursued. How? By the creation of the task force. Where now Mutembo Nchito moves away from us. Now he becomes a member of the state organ.
Yes, he became a private prosecutor.
With the Mark Chona. Yeah. And the rest is history.
We need a special chapter on that.
On that
I have to bring you John, yourself, Edith. We must have that conversation.
Yeah.
So I was saying 2008.
Yeah.
There's another momentous transition there.
Yeah, now I said I haven't discussed Levy Patrick. When Mwanawasa came into power, through many controversies, first and foremost, he didn't apply. He was just waking up from bed. Everybody thought he was a cabbage. He was mentally unstable. A lot of negatives about our former president. And I didn't give him much credit. When he started working, and he set up the task force, I think we started appreciating the man. Although at some point we started questioning the fight because it looked a bit selective.
Yeah, yeah.
But in any case,
it wasn't institutional. Yeah.
In any case, he swayed us now towards the economic reforms. Because when Mr. Chiluba was leaving power, the economy had crumbled. We were in dire straits. And he moved the focus to the economic recovery by getting investors and to some extent even selling mines for a song. All he wanted was these mines must start operating. And then he brought in the wind for tax, what do you call it? Tax.
Yeah, the wind for tax.
And when things went even chaotic, if you remember, he called the National Economic Indaba. You know, he's the man who wanted to share the challenges of the nation with those who insult him, as you would tell me at some point. So he called a 4-day economic Indaba at Mulungushi, where a lot of people came, made submissions, and it's from that economic Indaba that he had to fire Emmanuel Kasonde and replace him with Magande, Peter Magande. And they embarked on the HIPIC. The rest is history. But there's one thing I want to tell you. Why I wanted to discuss Levy Patrick Mwanawasa. He was a man who never took so much issues with the people who criticized him. I'll tell you how I'm going to meet the president. He will read about me in the papers, going for him. And one day, I will not forget, it was a Tuesday. A messenger pops up at my office with a khaki envelope. I open it, it was just 2 lines. Dear Brebner Changala, greetings. Please come to my office on Thursday at 11 hours. This is a Tuesday.
Yes.
I had just a Wednesday in between at 11 hours on Thursday. And I got a bit worried. I said, this is a man I normally don't talk to. If anything, he's the man I've been bashing day in, day out. But I summoned some courage and I went.
To State House. To
State House. I went to the gate. I found I was already cleared. I went inside. There was Tobias.
Tobias from, I think Zanis used to be the private secretary.
Private secretary, yes. Tobias Mulumbika, something like that. Yeah. And he pushed me in to see the president. The first remark he made was, are you Brebner Changala? I said, yes. No, I don't believe that.
That's the president.
That's the president.
Yeah.
And this is a small office where there's only one chair, him and yourself.
Which one? The one downstairs?
The one downstairs.
Yes.
That's a small office. He says, are you Brebner Changala? I said, yes. Are you sure? I said, yes. He says, no. I was expecting a huge, tall, light in complexion man. You are the one who insults me every day. I said, I don't do that, Mr. President. So I greeted him and he sat. Now, we had a very funny conversation. He started asking me why I criticize him, what is he doing wrong, and what have you. But he did something that shook me. People need to know. He pressed an intercom, and some lady answered on some other side, and he told that lady to say, can you bring the file on Mr. Changala?
Wow.
Yes, I said, the file. Me, in State House. As we say, clinic. No. So a huge fire came.
My God.
But I don't think I was alone there because it had those yellow tags which separates pages there.
Yes.
So he would go to one and he would read. And when he reads, I would know this is my language.
Also, these were press cuttings.
Yeah, not press cutting. These are intelligence
reports. It
reports.
could be the intelligence file.
Yes,
okay.
yes, yes. He would go to one and he read about 4 of them.
4 of your articles.
Yes, yes. And the language is mine.
Well, he was reading to you.
He reading to me because he had it there. So I was not sitting pretty where I was.
No.
Then he asked me, you know where I hang around in Kawata, Timusana.
Yes.
There used to be
corner there in Kawata.
Yes. There used to be that big tree.
Yes.
Yeah, which they came and brought down. So he asked me, he said, you know, I'm told you ran a tree. I said, Mr. President, I ran a tree.
Yes.
Says, don't you hang around at Musana? Then I knew. So I agreed. I said, yes. I said, yes. There is a tree that you call a tree of authority.
Yeah.
I said,
because the president used to speak with a Sata.
Yes.
I think arising from his accident in 1992.
So I agreed. I said, yeah, there is a tree. They call it.
And you ran that authority.
So they said, but why do you insult me? I said, no, Mr. President, I don't insult. Then he asked me, he says, what do you do for a living? I said, I make chalk. Where do you sell your chalk? I said, to your government.
Ministry of Education.
Ministry of Education. Then he went like, are we owing you any money? I said, yes. Are you sure? I said, yes. So he called the PS.
Yes.
Minister of Education. Professor Msonda.
Okay, yes.
Who was one time Zambia's High Commissioner
to London.
In London. He had come back
and the father, I think, to Monica Msonda.
Yes, to Monica Msonda.
Yes. The entrepreneur who runs Java Foods.
Yes. So he called the professor. Said, do you know a gentleman called Brebner? Now, there is a problem. Professor Msonda is my uncle.
Wow.
Professor Msonda is married to Petronella Chisanga's young sister.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, Petronella Chisanga's elder sister is my mother.
No.
Yeah. Now you see the problems that will come. So the president speaks to Professor Msonda. Do you know this gentleman called Brebner? He said, yes. Does he supply chalk? He said, yes. Do you owe him any money? The PS says, yes. How much? I remember that time it was 320 million. Yeah. So the president, this is about now going to 12 hours.
Yeah.
The president says, I'm sending Mr. Changala there. You will pay him.
Wow.
You are the one, now he's making accusations. You are the one making people insult my government. You are making people rise against my government. We had other discussions. What's going to happen around 15 hours, I go to the Ministry of Education.
And the check is ready.
Now, wait, I've forgotten something. The president calls the MD of Zanaco after speaking to
the PS.
To the PS.
As Minister of Education.
Yes, to pay me. Then he picks up a phone and calls the MD of Zanaco. At that time, Ndalamei, Likolo Ndalamei.
Yes.
managing director. He tells the MD that Brebner Changala makes choke and he deals with the government which doesn't pay him on time. And when he's not paid, he vents his anger on my administration. He has all the times to attack my administration.
Yeah.
So I am giving you a task. We are paying him today. Can you
ensure that this check is cleared?
No, not the check is cleared. This is now a business transaction. Make sure that you do a business proposal for him. Other than choke, he must set up a business that will give him daily income.
Oh, wonderful.
While he waits for money from the Ministry.
From the Ministry of Education.
Very interesting. And I'm listening.
Yeah,
the president is organizing my company, reorganizing my company, and showing the way on how my money must be spent.
Yeah.
But I had to do what the president did. I went to the Ministry of Education. I got the entire payment, and I took it to Zanaco, to the MD. It is from that money, plus the money that I got in England when I won an award, that I established that Imbereshi Empire, which is in Chinika Industry, which is the factory.
Yeah.
Because initially I used to make chalk at ZEF, Zambia Education and Publishing
House,
yeah,
yes.
on Chishango Road.
Yes.
On Chishango Road. Now, the property that is in Chinika is mine, courtesy
of President
Mwanawasa. I had to take this money now, my money, my company's money, to Mr. Likolo Ndaramei, MD Zanaco. At that time, I bought the property, a bare land, from a lady Mulalami. She used to live in Kabronga. She was married to a Nigerian. And we started building from the scratch. That's why I said I needed to say something about Mwanawasa. Then there comes now
2006 elections with Michael Sata, because there was an election. Is that after that election? Mwanawasa faces Michael Sata.
It was in 2006.
Yes.
Yeah, but 2006, I was on the side of HH, Nawakwi, and Tirenji Kaunda. We had formed UDA.
You had formed UDA.
So Michael Sata had gone in as PF. We had gone in as UDA. Again, this is a problem when somebody doesn't want to be led by others. When HH joined the UDA, Tirenji Kaunda and Nawakwi were at best veterans.
Yes.
And were connected with the voter. But for some reason, they had to surrender to HH to be the torch bearer.
Yes, because at this stage, President Mazoka has just died. Yeah, in a few months.
And the HH was new.
Succession trouble, the one you were telling me, where a conference takes place, but the party loses people like Sakwiwa Skota, Bob Chinga, Tsanga, and others. And now UPND have a candidate, and they go into this alliance with FDD and UNIP.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, which was badly executed because we all wondered why a novice would outmaneuver the veterans. If you know Michael Sata and Edith Nawakwi, they are in the same stream when it comes to aggressive political campaign
and voter mobilization.
And voter mobilization. They are quite aggressive. But then in 2006, Mr. Mwanawasa won. Yeah. Only to die 2 years later.
Because in that election, then Sata overtakes UPND, because UPND was the largest, opposition party from 2001.
Yeah.
Remember Mazoka nearly won. So in 2006, Sata overtakes.
Yeah.
And I think he has about 48 MPs.
Yeah.
Your reflections going to Arabi, from Mwanawasa to Arabi?
Yeah. Again, this is another challenge. Mwanawasa wins 2006 elections and appoints Arabi as his vice president because his favorite, Mr. That gentleman from ZAF.
First there was Enoch Kavindele. There was a fallout. Then Katoloshi.
Yes. Mr.
Lukasha MP.
Lukasha MP.
Yeah.
Lost the election.
In Lukasha.
In Lukasha. So Arabi is recalled from retirement.
Lupando
Mwape, yeah.
Lupando Katoloshi
Mwape.
He was a deputy minister in Northern Province. And there was, the fallout, because he had Kavindele as vice president. Fallout brought Nevas Mumba. When he dismissed Nevas Mumba, he got the deputy minister from Northern Province, who was Lupando Mwape, and appointed him as vice president. Yeah. And then when we got to elections in 2006, Lupando loses a constituency seat.
Yeah.
And therefore is not eligible. And Arabi has done a lot of work, apparently quietly in retirement. He decided to work for Mwanawasa and mobilize the Eastern Province. So he's also a very surprised vice president, because we didn't expect that. And now he's vice president to Pia Bandaya. Pick it up from there.
Yeah. So he's now vice president, coming from UNIP, coming from Zero Option, coming from Black Mamba, and the country had completely forgotten about him. And he had done the best. He had retired into the village, where Mwanawasa went to pick him up and made him his number 2. And they worked very well. They continued on uplifting the people's lives. The economy was doing very, very well. Mwanawasa had a vision for this country. And when he died, Arabi had to take over. But they not smoothly, because there had to be some wrangles. Other people wanted Magande. If I remember, the post was with Magande, and they gave him huge publicity. But it didn't work. And our brother, or old man, won an election, became a head of state, Rupia Bwezan Banda, but only to last for
only 3 years.
3 years.
And he loses now to Michael Sata.
He loses to Michael Sata, but we must also understand that his 3 years in power, he didn't sit pretty, because the Post newspaper followed him.
Because he had supported Magande.
Yes.
And then they turned the guns on him. And began to
even
support
when the economy,
the Patriotic Front.
This man, Rupia, left office with the economy doing very well. But he lost. He lost to Michael Sata, the more money in your pocket, lesser taxes, a lot of promises with this 90 days mantra. And in all this period, we must not forget that the current president was a candidate.
He was participating.
And losing, participating and losing, participating and losing.
Coming to Michael Sata, you became a fierce critic.
Oh, yes.
And you were a bit unkind towards the end of his reign when you attempted to take a petition for cabinet to approve, I think, a medical test on the president. How did you do that?
You see, I knew Mr. Sata. I'll tell you what. In 2013, under his administration, I was arrested and locked up. I was charged with drug trafficking, something I've never done, which was an unbailable offense. I was searched, humiliated, And I ended up...
Because of your fierce criticism?
Yes, yes, yes. I ended up in Kamwala remand prison. While I was there, I contacted Father Chirinda. I said...
from St. Ignatius?
St. Ignatius Parish. Said I might be very strong against Mr. Michael Sata, but I'm not a drug trafficker. Drug trafficking has got trails. You don't just find the drugs in somebody's house. Who is sending the drugs to me and where am I selling them? Father Chirinda came to visit me. Mind you, I was in that remand in a room, very small room. We were 217 sleeping.
Were you in Kamwala or Chimboka?
No, Kamwala. I was taken to Kamwala. We were 217 in a very small room where when sleeping, we first all stand up and then drop, because one guy has to sleep in between your legs, which means in the night you can't even stand. And it was on the floor.
There's no sleeping, you sit sleeping.
No, you sleep. My head goes in another guy. You sleep like sardine fish. And there is no ventilation. Because it's a wall all around with a small vents on top. And a lot of people there are sick. There's TB. There is scabies. When you are there, everybody is scratching. I sat there. I said, is this the price I want to pay? And I want to tell you, this is the information which doesn't come out to the public. Because it's shunted.
Yeah, because I think they've just locked you up.
Yes. No. What is important, the days I spent there, there is no day that we woke up without a dead body.
Oh my.
People are sick in jail. Now, this is a place where you are locked up around 16 hours because of handover. And they only open for you at 9 o'clock the following day because of handover. And there is a steel door. When there are problems here, there is no mechanism or intercom to plead with the prison warders that inside here there is a problem.
Someone is being beaten.
Somebody is being beaten or somebody is dying. And there is a chief, you know, in prison, the hardcore criminals. The captain. But where I was, there was a chief. When you receive food, the chief must first test your own food.
Yeah,
and they tell you that. So, I was locked up.
How many days did you spend in there?
I was there, I think, 16 days or so. Yes. Yeah, thereabout.
So you're talking about Father Chirinda and you pleaded with him.
Then I pleaded with him. He went and saw Mr. Michael Sata.
The president.
The president. And on this day, when I'm going to be released, you know, we come out at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
There is a call at 6 a.m. First, the doors are opening. You know, it's still doors, and then they open. Then it's Changala, Brebner. So I come out, you know, because for sleeping on the floor, you are dirty. So I walk out, and they lock the doors for others to remain because they can only come out at
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. And then there are two gentlemen in suits, well dressed and ties, and the warder. I feared for the West. This is 6 a.m. My family doesn't know what's going on. I'm taken outside. There is a brand new Mercedes No number plate. And this prison warder hands me over to these characters.
Yeah, no, you can fear for your life because you don't know where you're going.
I don't have shoes. I don't have a belt.
You're not dressed up.
I'm not dressed up. And combed hair. And no, actually, there were 3 because the guys who came to the prison were 2 in suits. When we went to the Mercedes, one guy is a driver, the other one is a passenger, but behind there are 2 people. So I'm put in between. This gentleman and this gentleman, I'm in between. And I'm taken on a ride. They are not telling me where they're taking me. We leave Camora remand. I find myself on the Cairo Road. The next thing, we're at Woodlands Police Station. We leave police station, we are back on Independence. Then we are at the mosque. And the time is moving. Later on, I find myself at Ridgeway. Those cells which are at
Ridgeway Police Post.
Yes, Ridgeway Police Post there. Yeah, which is opposite Chimbokaila. Yeah. And I'm handed over to the police.
Yeah.
There. Now, one thing you must understand. I'm in Chimbokaila. My matter is adjourned to another date, a longer date. So I'm in jail waiting for that date to
you're
come.
Remanded in prison.
Yes, I'm remanded. But I'm prematurely
being brought to the police.
Yes, by strange fellas. So I'm handed over to the police. The police get me. They take me to another cell where there are those tunnels which takes you into the courtroom.
Oh, yes.
Yes. You go now underground. Then it takes you to the
courtrooms at the magistrate complex.
At the magistrate's complex. And 9 o'clock, the magistrate enters. I remember her, Mrs. Amahundu. Yeah, I remember that. Fides Amahundu. Yeah, enters. If you remember, I was detained with my sister.
Yes.
Yes. And my sister is also brought. And we are now in court. The worst thing is we are in court and there are no lawyers. Because the lawyers are not aware about this James Bond.
Movements.
Yes, this James Bond kind of behavior. But when the magistrate comes, there is the prosecutor from the DPP chambers. And me and my sister were not represented in court. Strange things happen in this country. When the matter is called, we are given Nole.
The DPP enters a Nole through his prosecutor.
Yeah, it's through the prosecutor.
And you are free. You're free.
You're free to go. And the DPP at that time was Mutembo Nchito. Yeah, my good friend. Now, you can go crazy in this country. I walk out of court, no shoes, no belt, no belt,
no belt, and combed hair,
dirty, and very strange things, you know.
Yeah.
Because I was not taken back to prison to sign off, because that's a procedure. And if I had gone to prison to sign off, I was going to collect my shoes because they were there. My belt was there. My wallet was there. Everything was there. But I walked out from the magistrate.
Straight to go home.
When I arrived home, it was, I think, going to 10 hours. on foot. Because if you know the magistrate court and where I stay,
it's just across.
It's just across the road. Yeah.
Under a kilometer, 2 kilometers, I think.
Yeah, about 1.5 kilometers. So I walked there, and I knocked. They were, in fact, even preparing food to take to prison.
Yes, yes.
And here is the man walking in the house, no shoes. Yeah, and very dirty, eh?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Not truly strange things happen. But give me insights. Why did you raise that petition for the court, I think, to determine the health of the president?
That was an open secret. In this country, we have got myths, and we fear the unknown. President Michael Sata had been ailing. And I had very strong information that Mr. Sata had subletted power. People were making decisions on his behalf. Executive power was in wrong hands.
You feared?
I feared that. When I was going to raise this matter, I had escorted Richard Sakala, the owner of the Daily Nation, to court, in which Michael Sata had sued Richard Sakala for defamation.
Yes. That was a very strange case.
Yes.
Imagine the president not using the law of criminal defamation, but he sued in his personal capacity. Sued the Daily Nation.
And yes, and I escorted Mr. Sakala. And the president
came to court.
Physically. I looked at him. He was pale. He didn't look well. And most importantly, he was uncoordinated. What he was saying, and he was taking the judiciary for a joke. And if I remember,
I remember that day. I think it must have been 2nd or 3rd May, because of my own separate story to that.
Yeah.
And it shocked everyone.
Yes, and I told Mr. Sakala, because Michael Sata was supposed to take, I think, the witness stand to complain about the offending article by Sakala. But I don't think he was in a position to do that. And Judge Chitabo...
And remember, he's head of state.
And he was head of state. And the one presiding on the matter was Judge Chitabo, if I remember very well. The matter was adjourned. And we walked out. I talked to the president, Mr. Sata. He said, "Iwe Changala. Iwe ninshi wampatira. Iwe Changala." Now, when we came out, I went and met the Makebi Zulu. And
the famous lawyers in
yes,
and young lawyers.
Yes, the very young lawyers at that time. I said, we need to save this country. We are dealing with a very delicate issue. Because serious matters were being decided in State House where the occupant
was probably unavailable.
Not only unavailable, was...
Did you fear he could be incapacitated?
He was incapacitated to some extent. So I asked the lawyers, you know, in Zambia, the presidency or the president is a loose cannon. There is nobody who can supervise the president. So I had to find out where there is a law that we can use to challenge the state,
medical status.
Yeah, the medical status of the head of state. They said there is a medical board that can be constituted
only by cabinet.
Yeah, but there must be a court order to some extent, I'm told. It has been a long time. But first, we had to write a letter to the secretary to the cabinet.
A demand letter.
A demand letter that he convenes a cabinet meeting in which the issue of Mr. Sata's health must be discussed. And we had to put a time frame because we knew there is no way cabinet secretary will challenge the appointing authority. In this country, because we love keeping jobs without without performing their prescribed duties. We just want to keep them because there's nowhere we can work. So we give it a time frame. Thereafter, we did court papers, and they were filed in court. But we couldn't go far because Mr. Sata was now being ferried all over the world. He had to be taken to Israel and
then to UN.
Then he came back, then he was taken to Parliament to address Parliament in a chaotic, yes, where he couldn't finish reading the speech that was delivered. And at the close of the day, he was flown to New York, to the UN. By the time we realized,
we had lost him.
We had lost him.
There's something, another unique matter. Like you said, you used to criticize President Levy Mwanawasa, and he called you, and with the chalk business he had a hand. You used to criticize President Rupiah Banda.
Yes.
But during the time that President Rupiah Banda's immunity was lifted, and he was being harassed by the state, and they were trying him, you were now seen as a close companion of President Rupiah Banda. Yet you had criticized him.
Yeah, I operate in that manner. I normally don't like flogging dead horses. When a man's time is up, don't follow him to the grave. Spare people while they are alive. Rupiah Banda is a man I criticized while he had state power. He's a man I campaigned against when he had state power. When he left office, handed over power to Mr. Michael Sata, that was another chapter. We had to move on and see what Mr. Sata was going to do differently from Mr. Rupiah Banda. Unfortunately, in this country, the only safe former president in this country is a dead one. The moment you hand over power and you are still alive, you are as good as
dead.
So Michael Sata went for Rupiah Banda. And I know, unwillingly, because from time to time, even with his own court challenges, he would send him outside the country for certain assignments. In the meantime, the man had been taken to court. And I became so close to Rupiah, may he so rest in peace, and he used to tell me that Brebner is not Michael doing all these things. It's those who are seeking favors from him. Surely, if there is something I did wrong, why wasn't I called so that I explain why
before they lifted my immunity?
Before my immunity was lifted and celebrated. I stood with him in thick and thin, and he was bewildered. He used to tell me that, Brebner, you have come to my aid, and yet you benefited nothing from me. I told Mr. Rupiah Banda that I benefited a lot in that you maintained a stable and peaceful country. Which you were, yes, and a good economy, which you were able to hand over to another president. That is a collective benefit for all of us. I don't need a job. You don't need to pay me. He said, no, my problem is I had 22 cabinet ministers who have all run away. I said, that's human nature. Human beings rarely side with those
who are weak.
Those who have failed. I rise to the occasion and support those who are at their lowest and they need a shoulder to lead on.
Similarly, you were a fierce critic of President Edgar Lungu, to the extent that they would even call you that you are UPND when you were supporting, this change that took place in 2021. Just briefly speak about President Lungu, then we begin to end with President Hakainde Hichilema.
You see, it's very difficult to understand and appreciate what I stand for if you don't know me. Yeah. Many times, people will think I belong to that faction, to this faction, but I know where I belong. I belong to the Republic of Zambia. And I serve the interest, national interest, in my own individual capacity. I have a constitutional obligation to contribute. The Patriotic Front, under the leadership of Mr. Edgar Chagwalungu, had gone off the mark in that we slowly started losing our rights, freedoms, and liberties. But most importantly, there was an attack on our constitutional democracy. And for that reason, we needed to engage in what was constitutionally provided for. Change of government, regime change. And that was within our responsibility. And we highlighted in a manner that coerced every right-thinking citizen to come on board. I joined eminent citizens in Osida. I was invited by Simon Zukas, by Gilbert Temba, Emeritus Archbishop Mpundu, and many more. Leslie Mbula, Opin Kumbula, Madam Lily Monze, Botis Kapulu. The list is long. We said we need to wrestle power from the Patriotic Front. And we looked at what special purpose vehicle can we use? Because there are a lot of political parties, but they are weak. Then we have a political party that is lacking national character, and that's a UPND. And we resolved as Osida that let's give them this support to disrupt the Patriotic Front's administration. But we also need to understand that our colleagues, when they come, they will do things differently. Hence, the UPND administration came to power on the backbone of change. They came to power on the backbone of the restoration of the rule of law. These two things were paramount. The economy will be handled by them and the people of Zambia. Once the people are free to participate, once the people are consulted on regular basis, once democratic institutions are independent. And to that score, I want your listeners to understand. Because in this country, we have unsung heroes who have contributed silently. And here, I must bring the name of Justice Professor Philip Musonda. I was a conduit between Judge Musonda and President Hakainde Hichilema, in which there was an agreed position. And this is where you see some of us very disappointed. That institutions of governance will be independent. What do I mean? From 1964, state-owned enterprise are run by boards which are appointed by line ministries. The board at ZESCO is appointed by the energy minister. The board at NAPSA is appointed by the Minister of Labor, and so on and so forth. It was an agreed position that once the minister appoints the board, it must be ratified by Parliament. Once the board is ratified by Parliament, the minister cannot dissolve that board. And the board will appoint the CEO of that parastatal. So that
through a competitive process.
Yes, through a competitive process. Now, being a minister of energy, and he notices that things are not going well at ZESCO, the minister will raise an issue at Parliament, and the board will be summoned at Parliament. So there will be the minister here, and here there will be a board. In between, there will be a parliamentary select committee to listen from either side why certain things are not working elsewhere. And if the board is guilty, the select committee will recommend for its dissolution, and a new board will be established. Same, the board that will run the Anti-Corruption Commission will be appointed by the president, but ratified by Parliament. And the president cannot dissolve that board.
So your interaction with the UPND prior to elections and your support with OSIDA, with personalities like Judge Philip Musonda and others, your call was that institutions must be strengthened.
Strengthened.
Oversight institutions should rise, such as I think one of your famous officers you've wanted that it should be can oversight the president.
Is the public protector.
The public protector.
Yes.
You wanted these institutions at least to thrive.
And President Hakainde agreed, while in the opposition, that his first action to operationalize that office, whatever the bottlenecks will be.
The office of the public protector.
Will be operationalized. We are 2.5 years in this administration. We don't even know. People are drawing allowances. Public protector, you as people in the media, interview Madam Caroline Sokoni. And I'll tell you what. When the president appointed the 20 judges, the famous 20 judges, Madam Caroline Sokoni was one of them. Literally trying to abolish that office. I made an inquiry. You are appointing her into the High Court as a judge. By the way, at par, she was not promoted. Who is the new public protector? But we must give her credit. She refused to move an inch.
Oh, she declined.
She declined. And she is still our public protector. And Mr. Hakainde Hichilema can do nothing. Because she is protected by law. So these are institutions we thought when Mr. Hakainde Hichilema would come and change and strengthen. I'll give you one of my discussion with him while in opposition. Is the Inspector General of Police. It was a written document by Judge Musonda that we remove the Inspector General of Police from the command of the Minister of Home Affairs. Because it's a political animal with interest to serve. The IG must be appointed by the president, ratified by Parliament, and must report to the Attorney General.
That was a proposal.
Yes, that was a proposal. And in the last 2 years, we must have seen a lot of changes. In my private conversation with the president, before he became president, I always told him one thing. The day you'll have a chance to speak to him, he will confirm this. I told him we are going to become president of the Republic of Zambia. I want you to do one thing. I want you to beat Levy Patrick Mwanawasa's record in terms
of good
governance, integrity, and national.
And the fight against corruption.
Not only that, but national building. But I can tell you here now, on a scale of 0 to 10, the president might have scored 1, being the least. Because he has made no changes to the way the PF ran this country. In fact, is a replica of the Patriotic Front. And many of us are wondering as to why did we change? We should have just panel beaten Mr. Edgar Jagwarungu to remove the cadres from the street. Because on that, we give him credit. Although he overcredited himself, but we give him credit because he can't finish a sentence without the Patriotic Front. Because it's one animal that haunts him day in and day out. But this is our expectation when we supported Mr. Hakainde and the UPND. Is change and the restoration of the rule of law.
As we begin to, I think, wind up, and I'll invite you for your last remarks. When we hear your story, the way you've told it, you've had interactions with the president. Your current criticism of President Hakainde Hichilema is not that they've denied you a job or you wanted a job. I think your story, when Zambians hear it, they'll realize that you speak, I think, from the passion of this country. What has gone wrong? Why has President Hakainde Hichilema failed and failed so early?
First, let me acknowledge one thing on Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. When he won power, he became our head of state. We were on the same page. I was privileged that the president offered me many opportunities, any job. I remember Amasaka is my witness. Clayson, yes, Amasaka.
Special communications.
Yes. When the president gave me a blanket request, he said, Brebner, tell me.
What do you want?
What you want? Which job do you want? I told him, I'll tell you when I'm ready. He asked me, I think on several occasions, there is a time I told him, I said, Mr. President, I will tell you, at the moment, I want to be your supervisor. And he laughed. He said, Brebner, can you supervise a head of state? I said, there is always the first time. There is another time, he asked me whether I could go. In fact, let me repeat his words. He said, Brebner, you're growing old. You need to rest. You need time to rest. Wouldn't you want to go into a diplomatic?
In foreign service.
In foreign service, diplomatic service. I remember my answer was that I can't go into exile on a diplomatic passport.
You considered it exile?
Yes, because I have a free mind and I want to say what I want to say. Then he told me something which probably has come to pass. He said, I have done all I could have done. I've offered you a job. I know your agenda. You want to come, you want to start attacking me. He told me that, the president. I know your agenda.
Yeah.
Because I am being very supportive. You have done a lot of things. You need a job.
In sacrifice for our country.
Yes, you need a job. I told him, people like me hardly would work for somebody.
Do you attack the president?
No, I don't.
Explain that.
Yes, let me tell you, we have a very unusual situation which I've noticed at my age. I have attacked all administrations without exception. This is the first administration that I've seen which is highly sensitive to criticism. And whenever you criticize, it's because you never wanted the Tonga to be a president. Oh, and it irritates me.
That is sad.
Yes.
That is sad.
Whenever
I'm always also, you know, I literally freeze when I hear the president say that.
And it pains those who support this regime.
Did you support him because he was Tonga?
Not at all. I supported him because he was president. HH is my friend, for your information.
Yes.
We have never discussed a tribe before he became president. But it has become a topical issue. And the president is driving this agenda of division. I must say it and put it on record. The president assured me, just like he assured everybody out there, that is coming to unite this country. And I believed him. He's coming to unite this country. And I believed him. But I don't like it. And I wish he would watch me. That every platform that is given, the tribe and the challenges that he faces in the opposition becomes the central topic issue. Whatever forum, whether he's talking to the permanent secretaries, whether he's talking to ordinary citizens.
Even sadly at the funeral of, you know, the late Lieutenant General Shikapwasha.
I find it challenging. Now, this I have come to realize. The guilt are afraid. Here I am, Brebner Changala. I have lived amongst all the tribes. I have never found any problem. My good friend today, the president knows, is Lucky Murusa.
Former Solwezi MP.
Yes.
And former Minister of National Planning.
My other good friend today, although we are not talking, because of these same challenges, is Clayson Amasaka sitting next to the president.
Oh, he's a good friend of yours.
Oh, yes. We have committed a lot of atrocities together that are not on record.
Yeah. Atrocities, not in crimes.
No, but just atrocities. When Clayson is with me, we are perpetual sinners. The president himself calls Clayson and myself the two musketeers. Then he's got a deputy secretary to cabinet, Oliver Kalabo.
Oh, anyway, Oliver Kalabo.
That is my good friend. A man I met when I was 14.
Did you go to St. John's together with Oliver Kalaba?
Yes.
Dr. Oliver Kalaba. Oh.
Dr. Oliver is from St. John's.
Oh, okay.
There is Ronnie Mwamba, the Auditor General, they have failed to take to Parliament, whose name they have failed to take to Parliament. That's my good friend.
So even when you were criticizing the office of the Auditor General, I didn't realize that you actually were a personal friend.
No.
That, many people don't understand. That's how national you are. You are never personal. You are. A wrong is a wrong. It doesn't matter who's committing it or who's been found in the way of the wrong.
Because look at me. Under this administration of Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, I must make a confession. I should have been very comfortable.
Yeah, true.
If only I wanted to benefit, I should have been very comfortable with Mr. Hakainde. That's my friend. But when it comes to national matters, it doesn't work that way. There is one thing I've removed from the equation in my life, is opulence. Living an exaggerated life. Many people ask me, Brebner, why don't you want to vacate Kawada? I will not leave. That's where the human soul is. I live amongst the struggling masses. I am comfortable. I get the best sleep in that house. My dreams are so glorious and wonderful. I don't need to have the best life in Kablonga or the best life because I'm working with Mr. H.H. at State House. No. That's why I also don't appreciate that Mr. Hakainde Hichilema has refused to live in our own house, in our poverty identified accommodation in Kwazi. He willingly solicited to be our head of state amongst the poorest of the poor. And that's the only house they can give him.
They can afford.
So he cannot divide us by accepting our mandate,
but refusing
to accept our accommodation.
In our allocated accommodation.
Yes, refused to live amongst us. He's refused to live amongst us. Now, he's living at community house, which is a private house. And I must repeat here, the acrimony he has created in this country, because he's not the man who works for peace. Mr. Hakainde doesn't work for peace. He works for confrontation. This must be told. When he leaves that office, he will be haunted. And I don't mean anything bad against him. That community house will be a subject of investigation. And while they are investigation, the same police officers who are going round seizing people's properties, they will still have the mandate to seize that house. Let him hear me clearly. Many times you do not commingle your personal interest with national interests. This is the challenge Mr. Frederick Jacobo Chiruba had. He started keeping his personal money in a Zamtrop account.
A government account.
Ale weekend alama mungombe shakwa musanda. Let HH ask Madam Vice President Narumango, what does it mean ingombe shakwa musanda?
Explain briefly.
You have a ranch. And I have 7 goats, rather 7 cows. I am going to UK. I get my 7 cows, you have got 200, I say, keep them for me. When I come back, I need my 7 cows. So I'm putting these cows in your crow. When I come back after 3 years, I want my cows. Tell me how you will get them. Because they will have evolved.
They will have given birth.
Yes.
Even the
so
number can be cheated
in this
you.
country, we have got authorities. Chiruba putting money in a government account, Zamtrop. He lost the money.
8.5
Mr. Hakainde Hichilema connecting community house to state house deliberately so. Because whenever I find there, I find state security whose salaries is drawn from Minister of Finance, guarding a private property without any statutory instrument.
And there have been improvements, such as
new road. Whether improvements, I wouldn't go that route.
Okay.
I'm just telling him he's playing bad politics.
He should go to the allocated house.
He must go to allocated house, which he fought for willingly for 16 years. And on the 11th of August 2021, we surrendered the keys to him. And he has refused to accept our offer, and yet he accepted our vote.
Brebner, what would be your last words?
My concluding remark is patriotism. Let's be patriotic to this country. But I also want a reversal. When I used to grow up, businessmen never rushed into politics. Politics was a service. And that's why our forefathers in the UNIP, they all died with nothing, but with good names. They died without farms, they died without factories, they died honorable lives. Now, we have a situation today as to why should a businessman abandon a business that can pay him well to go into politics. The reason is very simple: to amass wealth and abuse the treasury. No wonder poverty can never end.
So you object to a businessman becoming a politician, even a president, like
Even
we have in President Hakainde
Mr.
Hichilema.
Hakainde Hichilema is having challenges today. He has not won, forsaken his business interests. It's not on record. Secondly, he has refused to declare assets, which means Mr. Hakainde Hichilema is hiding something, but there is nothing you can hide under the sun. The true servant of the people, if you look at these administrations, are people like Narumango. Narumango doesn't even own a ticket. That is a true servant of the people. Douglas Siakalima, that is a servant of the people. Garin Kombo, the next president of UPND, is a social worker. So is Jack Wimbo.
Also is Jack Wimbo, wonderful. They accused you of brewing conflict in the UPND when you proposed Garin Kombo as someone to take over from Hakainde Hichilema.
It's the people's choice. Garin Kombo, this is an untold story. I am a friend of the UPND. I interact with the crying members of the UPND. I was just talking to one senior member today.
So they don't find solace in the president. So they look for other leaders like Garin Kombo.
Yes, but they don't have the platform to say it. They fear the repercussions.
And recrimination. Aren't you jeopardizing the political life and success of Garin Kombo by mentioning his name as a possible successor to President Hakainde Hichilema?
I'm just saying what is in the people's mind. If I'm jeopardizing, so be it. Then Mr. Hakainde will continue, but I doubt. If there will be a genuine convention in the UPND, Mr. Hakainde stands and Garin Kombo stands, I am telling you, with a secret ballot,
There will be a whitewash.
There will be a whitewash. Mr. Hakainde Hichilema will be retired in the national interest. Thank you.
Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, and all those that joined us, this was the conversation with human rights activist, civil activist, Brebner Changala. We walked with him through, the life and times and his interaction with our people and his fight for a better Zambia. Honorable Brebner Changala, I would like to thank you for coming and for finding time. I know you are so busy. And I had to wait for you for many days. I'm glad that you at least spared, 2 hours to sit with us.
I do too many wrong things.
No, God bless you, and God bless the soul of Brebner Changala. We need many of his kind to fight for our country, to fight for democracy, and to fight for the Zambia that we want. God bless you. Until next time, see you then.